distribution expression. Okay. Now, when do you get, okay, what is the condition for maxima? Intermediate again. Okay, in mathematics you have, okay, and you have done, okay, you're done in your mathematics. Okay, when you have a function f of x, when do you get maximas of that function? How do you get the maximas of the function?
F dash is less.
Yeah, that's true. Malok Sachapama?
F dash is less than 0.
Okay, good. Okay, when do you get minimas?
F dash is greater than 0.
Okay, very good. Okay, answer Adikadu. Okay, the condition for maximas and minimas is f dash is equal to 0. When f dash is equal to 0, then you will get a condition for maxima and minima. So whether it is maxima or minima, you will come to know only when you go for double dash of f double dash. Okay, that you were right, but you should know it is not f dash but f double dash. If the f double dash is greater than 0, then it is minima. If f double dash is less than 0, then it is maxima. Okay, so you'll know the condition for maximas and minimas by differentiating the function with respect to its variable. Okay, now what is the function here? The function enti? In this figure, what is the function that you're talking about?
Sine function.
I, intensity is the function. Okay, intensity is the function. Okay, on what factor does it depend? Intensity function emundi I is equal to I naught sin alpha by alpha whole square kada. Ikkada enti deni meeda depend ayundi. What is it dependent upon?
Sine.
Sine kaadu, alpha. It is dependent upon alpha. Okay.
Alpha.
So to get maximas and minimas, what do you have to do? You differentiate I with respect to alpha and it equate it to 0. Okay. So that's what I was saying. Okay. When you want to get the principal maxima, then sin alpha by alpha, if it is equivalent to 1, when alpha tends to 0, that is the condition when you get your principal maxima. Apart from that, if you differentiate I with respect to alpha and equate it to 0, you are differentiating I with respect to alpha and equating it to 0. That's what is the expression doing over there. Okay. So differentiate it and equate it to 0. What do I get it for upon differentiating? 2 I naught sin alpha by alpha into alpha cos alpha minus sin alpha by alpha square is equated to 0. Okay. Now, when that is considered, what are all possible conditions? Okay, either I naught is equal to 0. If I naught is equal to 0, that implies there is no intensity at all. That implies there is no wave at all. So I naught cannot be 0. If alpha is equal to 0, then you already came to know that gives you the principal maxima. That gives you the principal maxima. So you cannot take alpha is equal to 0 condition also. Okay. Okay. The other thing that you can take is alpha is equal to infinity. That is again an non-conducive consideration. That means you cannot consider alpha to be equivalent to 0. So I naught is not 0. Sin alpha by alpha is not 0. And so what remains is a cos alpha minus sin alpha by alpha square is equal to 0 is the condition to be satisfied to get either minimas or maximas. Okay. So when I say alpha cos alpha minus sin alpha is equal to 0. Okay. That implies a cos alpha minus sin alpha is equal to 0. That is alpha is equal to sin alpha by cos alpha, which is equal to tan alpha. That is what you see here. Okay, that is what you see here. Okay, what about this one? When sin alpha, when the numerator is 0, when the sin alpha value is 0, when alpha, okay, I said alpha cannot be 0, okay? And when sin alpha is equal to 0, then the whole expression can be 0, right? Sir, why did you say that this is the condition for minima? Why don't you say that this is the condition for minima and this is the condition for minima? Okay, only thing is you double differentiate it and okay, check. Okay, under what condition you'll get a okay, minima and under what condition you get a maxima. Okay, so when sine alpha is equal to 0, when sine alpha is equal to 0, you will get a minima. And when do you get sine alpha 0? Alpha is equal to plus or minus m pi. Where what is m? Okay, m is 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, so on. Okay, clear? So for all the values of alpha, which is equivalent to plus or minus m pi, you will get this expression to be 0. And so this is the condition for minima. And to get the condition for maxima, okay, the remaining term, that is alpha sine, okay, alpha cos alpha minus sin alpha should be equated to 0. That implies alpha is equal to tan alpha is the condition where you will get maximas, Okay, now this is what is to be done. Okay, Yama, from this expression, I is equal to I naught sin alpha by alpha whole square. Okay, what you can do is directly come to this one. Okay, to get minimas and maximas, you differentiate I with respect to alpha and equate it to 0. You differentiate I with respect to alpha and equate it to 0. So this expression will be 0 when alpha is equal to 0. So when alpha is equal to 0, we'll get principal maxima. And again, this expression is 0 when alpha is equal to plus or minus m pi. And this is the expression when you get minimas. And this expression is 0 when okay, alpha is equal to tan alpha. That is a cos alpha minus tan alpha is equal to 0. That is alpha is equal to tan alpha. When alpha is equal to tan alpha also, this expression is 0. So these are the three situations in which this expression di by d alpha will become 0. So and these three situations are giving you three different intensity distribution functions or intensity distribution criteria. 1, alpha is equal to 0 gives you principal maxima. 2, when sin alpha is equal to 0 gives you minimas. When you, okay, the conditions when you get minimas. And when alpha is equal to tan alpha gives you the conditions for secondary maximas. What are secondary maximas, sir? So this is called the principal maxima. The central one is called, okay, the central one is called the principal maxima, and the other ones are called the secondary maximas. You see that the secondary maxima comes when alpha is equated to tan alpha, So these maximas come when alpha is equal to tan alpha. And when do you get minimas? You get minimas at when alpha is equal to pi or 2 pi or 3 pi or so. Alpha is equal to m pi. When alpha is equal to plus or minus m pi, you will get minimas. So this is the conditions when you get minimas, and this is the condition when you get maximas. Sir, how do you know that we are getting maxima here? We have seen that when alpha is equal to tan alpha, you will get this maxima. Sir, how to get that? So this line, okay, straight line is giving you y is equal to alpha. And these curved lines are y is equal to tan alpha. So wherever the curve, these two curves meet, that I think you have done your mathematics. When you are done it, okay, then you are in your mathematics, okay. You have expressions y is equal to alpha and y is equal to tan alpha, and wherever they intersect each other, that means wherever these values combine, okay, equal to each other, these are the conditions when you get secondary maximas. These are the conditions when you get secondary maximas. Okay, that's what is understood from this expression. Single expression, okay, yama e part is skip chechu. Okay, you can skip this part. Okay, this slide, and you can skip this slide also. You can skip these two slides. Okay, so from this slide you can say directly go to this slide and say you will get minimas and maximas when di by d alpha is equal to 0, and this is possible when alpha is equal to 0, 1, 2 when sin alpha is equal to 0, and 3, okay, when alpha cos alpha minus alpha is equal to 0. These are the three conditions on which you'll get this di by d alpha is equal to 0. So first condition, that is alpha is equal to 0, tells you that principal maxima condition. That means when do you get the highest amplitude, that is principal maxima condition. When sin alpha is equal to 0, gives you alpha is equal to plus or minus m pi. That implies this gives you the condition for minimas. And a cos alpha minus sin alpha is equal to 0, that is alpha is equal to tan alpha is the condition that gives you, okay, is the condition that gives you the secondary maximas. Okay, so okay, this slide, okay, this slide, okay, this slide, okay, the color, okay, color one side, okay, this slide, and then this slide, two slides, the second slide, and then this slide. Okay, these three slides can only be used, okay, and this slide, okay, this one, okay. Use these 4 slides to complete your single slit diffraction derivation. You can use only these 4 slits to complete your single slit diffraction derivation. What about the other slits? Other slides are? Other slides are only supportive. That means they are giving you more explanation of what you are doing. Okay. Now this is what is, okay, y is equal to alpha and y is equal to tan alpha. Both the graphs are drawn over there and they intersect very close to, okay. Okay, y is equal to tan alpha and y is equal to alpha. Okay, they are intersecting at 0. And the next one is intersecting at, okay, pi. Okay, I mean 3 pi by 2 and 5 pi by 2 and so on. Okay, so these are the conditions you get. Okay, so y is equal to alpha and y is equal to tan alpha are very close. Okay, at 3 pi by 2, at 3 pi by 2. Y is equal to alpha and y is equal to, okay, tan alpha are very close again at 5 pi by 2. Right? So these are the conditions. These are the conditions where you get a secondary maxima. Secondary maximas, that is explained here. Okay. And anyway, okay, this is the same. Okay. Now this one is the single slit. The light is propagating through the single slit, and this one is your central maxima. This is your central maxima, and then minima. And then this is the first secondary maxima, second secondary maxima, and so on. The bright ones are maximas and the dark ones are minimas. So you get minimas when alpha is equal to plus or minus m pi, and you get maximas when alpha is equal to 0, that is the principal maxima, and when alpha is equal to, okay, I mean 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, and 7 pi by 2, like that. Okay, so these are the conditions that you get. Okay, okay, maximas. Okay, that's a figure here. Okay, this is tan alpha graph, and this is